Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com and I'm going to kibitz a game that's currently going on between these two players right here. So this is a 3-minute game. If you're looking for the names and ratings of these players, you're not going to find them, but I will include what the names and ratings are of these players in about a day or two after the upload of this video. So what's going on here between these two? So it seems like the lines have been drawn. Just judging by the pawn structure, white's looking to go on the queen side, and we already have a break being initiated with this c5. So black is still trying to hold it together now on d6, and at the same time with that knight move, get this f-pawn rolling. This is the direction black will be looking to play in, cracking at that e4 pawn. So white has a little bit of an issue with regard to still getting developed. This knight still needing to move. I don't know if really g3, bishop g2 is on the cards. So, and I also don't know if the knight can even play to g3 because we have forking possibilities. So black is putting a great halt to this pawn going any further. Getting to a6 really turns out to be a giant thorn. Inducing this pawn to move is really going to start to mess with the structure. So I think this is the best way to hold the position pawn-wise and I guess hole-wise in the weaknesses. To reduce the weaknesses the most, I think a6 is best, again, instead of allowing that white pawn to get to a6. So in the meantime, we don't have the recapture with the pawn, but instead this knight now putting pressure, this knight recapturing and putting pressure on e4, which is hit twice, defended twice, but now it's hit once, defended once. It is unprotected. Is there another way to get at it? Ideally, with this pawn on a dark square, this bishop is considered bad. He's good. How to even castle? White is probably looking to now jump into this c5 square. Well, actually, probably more than likely looking to get to c5 and then even e6. And there could be some issues along this diagonal after this knight does get here. I think the bishop maybe did better to just stick around on that d7 square. So we're going to have white go on castle, but I believe this is quite all right. Rook takes, king takes. This king is just going to tuck itself away one move, and it's almost like white castled kingside. So now white clearly stands better. This knight is invaluable. On e6, this rook can't even play here to give check, and in the meantime, the king scoots over, the rook jumps on f1. What do you do? This is very difficult to break down. Okay, this pawn is hit twice by both knights, but where does the queen go? Okay, the queen doesn't go anywhere. The queen is very well placed right here. The bishop is the one that's looking to improve itself, putting pressure on the knight, and we could very quickly see a transition to a good knight versus a bad bishop. I do like this move. The bishop really wasn't doing a whole lot from g7. Okay, it was watching over the knight, but it's getting on a better diagonal. But white is just taking away all the activity of the black pieces with the g3, not only providing an additional square for the king, but more specifically watching over that f4 square. So black really struggling to find something good to do, and this is a good step, a step in the right direction, I would say, getting rid of this very well placed e6 knight. Okay, so some success right here. Is there a way for this knight to get active? Where can this knight be? Is there a way to get this knight back to that e6 square? Even if we have a position where both knights come off the board, we once again, things keep pointing, at least in my eyes right here, things keep pointing to this bishop being bad. Okay, so we could have a good versus bad bishop situation, but the king is watching out for these entry points from that white queen, and also we could have bishop to b4 looking to pick up this pawn, and that might be a very difficult thing, a very, very difficult move to meet right there. What do you do right here? The queen is watching out for all entry points. I'm starting to actually like black if they run forward with bishop b4, but queen to b8 is a move that I'm finding difficult to explain. I don't know what the intention is that black had right there. Maybe just looking to maybe push with that b pawn or something, but okay. In the meantime, the knight's looking to reroute, but allows this queen to now pivot on b5, and she's incredibly active, but we're going to have a bunch of checks going on here. So check, Seems like there could be at least a perpetual. Okay, no perpetual just yet, but mate threats close to happening. Okay, we're gonna, oh, the pawn is dead with check. Oh, forget about that. That's mate. Wow. That was tough right there. Okay, so hopefully these guys play one more. That was a cool finish right there with that h4. Okay, we have another game going on between these two. And knight c3. Okay, so you have to go with d5 right here. And if d5, well, you don't have to, but I'm pretty sure white has to run forward with something like the black Mardemer. Whenever I see this, whenever I see that knight c3 move, I think, well, you kind of have to go for some gambit. Otherwise, in queen pawn openings, you really don't want to obstruct that c pawn. But okay, this knight is still facilitating with bishop g5. We do still have some points to be taken away because e4 was still threatened after this bishop move. h4 is an interesting pawn sack to run forward with. If there was a couple of captures here, it would allow for this file to open up and also for white to get rapid development. Also, an interesting point is this queen g4 move, playing it out here prior to developing the knight to f3. So things could certainly become very uncomfortable quick for black. And these guys are rattling things off like they have played this line many a times. And for all I know, okay, well, I don't know. it might be booked for all I know, but I'm certainly not booked up on this line. So how to make sense of it? How to get this king safe? Okay, well, this seems like it's going to be quite all right here. There might be, however, an opportunity for f5. As soon as the king plays here, f5 is available. Taking in this direction drops d5. Taking in this direction is simply illegal. So this right here is a #1 issue in my eyes for black, how to solve the problem of this light square bishop not really doing a thing at all. And this king can't play here. Pawn a6 is maybe looking to tuck the queen here for a very temporary moment just to expand here on the queen side with b5, but we're likely to be seeing some more exchanges. Right here is probably a purposeful move, or maybe not. Bishop playing to d4 or a3 could start to induce pawn weaknesses. It might have been maybe better to still keep the king on c1, but or maybe now that he is on b1 and something isn't being threatened against b2, maybe it's better for him to shift over to that a1 square just so that bishop a3 is not a possibility. This is a half-open c file, so ideally you really wouldn't want to have a king on that c file. Okay, we're going to have to do something about this knight. And is this already going to be a big issue? The bishop, I think, has to back up to allow the queen to watch over the knight. This is very difficult. Knight a4 is not even possible. Bishop takes knight. So what else do you do? The knight can't go anywhere because we have mate on b2. The bishop has to move, and there's really only one move. Bishop e2. But after bishop e2, rook to c8. Very difficult. It's pretty interesting. Okay, apparently things aren't really mattering about this black king position for right now. And I'm not so sure why that move isn't being played unless, okay, bishop takes pawn. Did white really feel the need? Was that really a necessity? I'm not understanding that. Okay, so no, that's why it's no good. You just grab on c3. It's easier after you see the moves. Yeah, okay, now I can make sense of it. Bumping the king up. How do you make a pawn break now? Pawn push right here. No, you just capture in this direction and then plant the bishop on e6, and there he goes, and there he will stay. He will not be dislodged. Black now playing up a piece and up on time as well. Less than 45 seconds for white to sort things out. Scooting the queen away to allow for some pawn break, some opening of the files with g4. You have to do this. You have to create some activity. g4 is really the only way to make progress. In the meantime, c2 is being hit once. It's defended once. Queen moves right here are already a threat. Not of a back rank mate unless one of these rooks leaves. We could have a mate in 3 very quickly. But how to make further progress, I'm really not seeing it. I really like this rook move. So just going into a prevent, black is saying, you know what, you have nothing if my rook is just sticking around right here. Watching out for both potential pawn breaks, securing this g6 point, and black should be looking to just get the queens off the board. If you could teleport this queen anywhere, where would you want to go? I believe on f5. That would be a really good spot. And now very active is that queen. Okay, just, oh no, we're not dropping that pawn. I thought for a second this was going to be a drop on g6, but it still is defended twice, attacked twice. a3, flight square, less than a minute for black, less than 20 seconds, or about 20 seconds for white. Okay, rook activity, and can't this pawn is going to be taken soon. This rook couldn't go too far. Rook h6, staying active along the file and defending stuff laterally. The bishop is gluing stuff together, but this pawn could drop. Queen check, king here. Okay, now it's defended, and now this pawn drops. We're gonna have the tables turn. The queen comes back to defend. The rook can block now. I think just pawn push. You got to get this bishop doing something. No, okay, so now the queen is on f5. The queen is getting kicked away. We're gonna have the offer of a queen exchange. Queen to d7 or not. Okay, still watching out for that g6 move. That's why we're not having that. So now if rook takes, we're going to have rook takes pawn right here, sacking the queen now. What is going on? Oh, caught in a pre-move right there. I feel that pain right there. Wow. Okay, let's see how this finishes up. 15 seconds and change for black, less than 10 for white. Oh, man. Is that going to be game over? Oh, white is not moving fast at all, and that is game, set, match. Yes, it is. Black won that game. So that's all for this video. As always, I hope you got something out of it. Take care. Bye.